The following high-definition presentation of Beacon Sports is brought to you by Beacon Academy, an elite group of students destined to bring you the future of better broadcasting.
National Pro Fast Pitch Softball action live on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com for the 2015 season is brought to you in part by Boomba, the official supplier for National Pro Fast Pitch Authentic Team uniforms, training apparel, and replica sportswear. By Worth Fast Pitch, the official helmet of the NPF. By DeMarini Sports, makers of the world's finest bats. Check them out on Instagram at DeMariniFP. By Wilson Sporting Goods, official supplier of bats and gloves for the NPF. Create your custom Wilson A2000 at WilsonCustomGloves.com. By Combat Sports, your advantage is in our DNA. Experience Maxim, a 40% larger hitting surface than the closest competitor. By Miken, we are built to win. We don't play the game to win, we dominate it at MikenSports.com. By Mizuno, never settle is an attitude, like Mizuno Fast Pitch North America on Facebook for athlete news, product reviews, and giveaways. By Louisville Slugger, you too can swing the technology that's dominating the game at every level of play at Slugger.com. By Easton, swing for the fences in patented designs and discover how their fast pitch bat can take your game to the next level at EastonSoftball.com. By Evo Shield, the official protective gear of the NPF. Lightweight gear, custom fit, available for athletes of all ages at sporting good retailers nationwide. By Bonet, play anywhere, play now. Check out the best portable sports nets and gear in the game at BonetSports.com. By Diamond Sports, the official softball of the NPF. Progressive design plus advanced technology equals unparalleled performance. And by Nike, an official supplier of the NPF. Wants you to follow them at Nike Store for Nike products in the U.S. Serving athletes since 1972, Nike knows at NikeStore.com.
Welcome back here to the ballpark at Rosemont for pregame coverage of Game 2 of this three-game set as the Chicago Bandits host the Pennsylvania Rebellion. Good evening, everybody. Mike Knezovich along with Eric Katz to bring you all the exciting play-by-play action in this NPF matchup this evening. The Chicago Bandits checking in with a record of 26-14. The Pennsylvania Rebellion coming in at 12-29. And Eric, great game last night. The Bandits had the 2-1 lead late in the contest. Pennsylvania comes back with a big 3 spot in the 7th inning of play to take the lead, and our player of the game, our Boomba player of the game, Haley Wagner, then shut the door for the Rebellion.
Haley Wagner did a great job of getting in the circle and really shutting the door on the Bandits' offense. The Bandits had the lead going into the 7th inning and blew it at the worst time. It was really a major letdown just when you thought that the Bandits were going to go home with the victory on Faith and Family Night, but the Rebellion showed that, hey, we're not intimidated one bit by their standing, that we're going to keep fighting and try and get back into the race.
A couple positive notes for the Bandits. Tammy Williams getting untracked after a long slump. She comes up with a double as well as an RBI single in the ball game, and Megan Blank continues to hit the ball well as she picked up her 3rd home run of the season for the Bandits.
Tammy Williams last night, she looked just relieved that she was finally able to drive in a run. Also, Megan Blank's really becoming a stud out there. She's really developing into a player that the Bandits found during open tryouts. Like, they've had many great players come from these open tryouts, and Megan Blank's really adjusted well and has played terrific first base and also swung the bat well.
Meanwhile, the Rebellion had a lot of positives last night. They are now 3.5 games behind the Dallas Charge for that last playoff spot here in the NPF, so they certainly have a lot to play for. Craig Montevides' ball club fighting tooth and nail throughout the 7 innings. They got great performances yesterday from Mandy Ogle offensively. Cheyenne Quarters did a great job in left field as well as with the bat, and they got some timely hitting throughout the ball game.
They were able to finally come up with the big hit. That's what they were looking for all season long, is to come up with a big hit. They played the Bandits close a couple times, but they were never really able to finish off the Bandits ever during the season up until last night. Also, Coach Montevides talked about that he was very pleased with Haley Wagner and her performance. He was also happy that his team continued to fight, and he said they're going to keep fighting until they're mathematically eliminated.
The pitching matchup this evening, as we give you a wrap-up, Eric, is a pretty intriguing one tonight. Michelle Gascoigne has struggled recently, her record now at 4-4 on the season, as she tries to get back on track prior to the NPF playoffs. And kind of a mystery going for the visitors here tonight. Miranda Kramer, the former Mastodon from Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne, getting the start for the Rebellion.
This is her first start actually here at the ballpark in Rosemont. She actually was out for the entire first half of the season with an injury, and she has pitched all right coming into this game, but it will be interesting to see how the Bandits respond to a pitcher they've never seen before all season long.
Well, the Bandits are mathematically, for the most part, eliminated of winning the NPF championship, but they still have a lot to fight for here. Of course, the Rebellion are still fighting for their playoff lives as well. So we'll see how the middle game in this three-game set turns out here tonight at the ballpark at Rosemont. When we come back after a brief timeout, we'll have a player interview as well as stats and pitching matchups as well. You are watching exciting NPF action live from the ballpark at Rosemont on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
Welcome back to the Chicago Bandits pregame show. I'm joined by pitcher Sarah Moulton. Sarah, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Quite well. I understand that you came out of the University of Minnesota. Can you tell us about the Golden Gophers program up north?
Yes, it's a very cold climate, but it doesn't stop us from playing softball. They've had 5 really strong seasons under their new head coach, Jessica Allister, and I was just happy to be a part of 4 of them. And the farthest we went was to a super regional, and I strongly believe that they're going to go to a World Series.
Sounding pretty confident there. Also, I understand the physical part of the pitching game, but can you tell us like what goes in mentally, like when you're about to hit the circle or when you're warming up in relief or you're about to make a start?
I think the most important thing mentally is you just have to be in your own head, your own zone. You can't worry about outside factors. You just have to stay focused on you and the catcher, and it doesn't matter what anybody else does.
Now recently you told an amazing story about getting in better shape and how people like Emily Allard and also your teammates really helped you along. Can you tell us a little bit about that story?
Yeah, after last season, like halfway through, I decided, I wasn't feeling healthy and I wanted to start feeling a lot better. So I started eating a lot better, and I ended up losing 52 pounds, and I feel like I'm the strongest I've been in my life. And it was a really good step for me and a really big lifestyle change, and I'm really happy I did it.
How did this change you personally?
I think it just made me more confident as a person in softball and in life. It brought out a lot of insecurities that I didn't really realize that I had, and those are what make you stronger. So I really feel a lot more comfortable in my skin now.
Also, I'm going to ask you to rat out one of your teammates. Who would you say is the most talkative in the locker room?
The most talkative in the locker room, I would have to say probably Sammy Marshall and always Tammy Williams. They're always talking.
Why do you say those two?
Those two, they're always talking, especially they have this little feud going between each other, and it's really fun to watch, but they keep everybody excited and ready to go before the games.
Oh yeah, we're talking here with Sarah Moulton, a pitcher on the Chicago Bandits. Sarah, thank you so much for sharing your story and coming on this pregame show.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back with more coverage of the Chicago Bandits pregame show. I'm Eric Katz.
And nicely done by Natalie Meir as she sings our national anthem out here this evening at the ballpark at Rosemont. So glad you could join us here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com as we get set for the second of this three-game set between the Chicago Bandits and the Pennsylvania Rebellion. Good evening, everybody. Mike Knezovich along with Eric Katz. Ronnie Capuzzo doing the directing, spinning the dials up here today, and the Beacon Academy crew. We've got first pitches coming up here from a multitude of folks that are celebrating the evening out here this evening at the beautiful ballpark at Rosemont. Our ALS first pitch is going to be thrown by Emily DeMeo. We had the high fives with the starting lineup by the St. Louis Extreme, as well as Griffith Girls Softball. Today's Bandit Shadow is Riley Rumpla, and we also have Bat Girls Avery and Naomi Didenga joining us out here today. The colors are presented by the DuPage Honor Guard, as well as the Great Lakes Honor Guard for this evening's softball matchup. And Erica, great game last night for the Rebellion, a nice come-from-behind victory, putting up a 3-spot, and the Bandits trying to get back on a winning track tonight.
The Rebellion did a great job of just not bowing out when it really mattered. They decided to say, hey, let's put up a fight, and they did just that. Precioso had the home run to tie it up, and eventually the Rebellion broke through and really got to Kirsten Verdon last night, who we thought would actually secure a win, her 4th win of the season at the time, for the Bandits and her personally.
Let's take a look at our Boomba starting lineups. Boomba is the official supplier for National Pro Fast Pitch Authentic Team uniforms, training apparel, and replica sportswear. For the visiting Pennsylvania Rebellion, who come in with a record of 11-29, they will have the designated player, Olivia Watkins, leading it off. She'll be followed by the shortstop, Haruna Sakamoto. Alexa Peterson will be in right field hitting third. Kristen Sandberg, who got hit twice in the game last night, will be at cleanup behind the plate. Former Bandit Elisa Gola will be at first. Sarah Precioso, who hit the home run off the top of the fence in right center to tie the ball game up last night, will be at second. Brittany Lindley will be at third. Courtney Cenas will be in center. Cheyenne Cordes, who had a great defensive game last night, will be in left. Miranda Kramer, the former Mastodon from Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne, will be in the circle for the visitors. We'll take a look at our Wilson Sporting Goods defensive alignment after the first pitch here by Michelle Gascoigne. Wilson Sporting Goods is the official supplier of bats and gloves for the NPF. They bring you today's defensive alignment. For the Chicago Bandits, it'll be Natalie Hernandez in left, A.J. Andrews in center, Brittany Cervantes will be in right. Here's the 1-0 pitch swung on and missed by Watkins. The infield from third to first. Amber Patton back at the hot corner tonight. Tammy Williams at short. Danielle Zimkowitz at second. Megan Blank, who had the solo home run in the game last night at first, with a battery of Taylor Edwards and the former Sooner from Oklahoma, Michelle Gascoigne. Our Orange Crush LLC umpiring crew tonight has Marty Aberzizian behind the plate. Eric Manley is down at first tonight, and Tom Meyer will be at third. There you get a look at the former Sooner, Michelle Gascoigne.
Well, tonight, Michelle Gascoigne really has to bounce back. She has been rocked for three plus runs in 2 straight starts, and it's really discovery time for her to see how well she can bounce back from getting rocked 2 starts in a row.
Watkins sitting at 213 with a home run and 13 runs driven in. A great start as Gascoigne gets the punch-out signal there from Marty Aberzizian for strikeout number 3.
That's the start Michelle Gascoigne was looking for. That's the type of pitching that she has to do all game long. She really needs to also focus on getting ahead of hitters.
Coaching for the Rebellion down at third is the assistant coach on the Dutch national team, Tracy Bungie. And Craig Montvitas, the head coach, is the coach down at third base. For the Rebellion, who come up on a high here tonight with a come-from-behind 4-2 victory over the Bandits. There is Haruna Sakamoto, the Japanese star, as she fouls that one off for the second straight time.
The assistant coach on the Pennsylvania Rebellion, Kerry Johnson, had to go back to Australia to be with the national team, who are about to compete in the Japan Cup.
You had a great conversation with Tracy that we'll talk about throughout the game, about the international game and the state of affairs with the Olympics. Very interesting conversation with the longtime Division I coach, Tracy Bungie, 23 years as a head coach at the D1 level. Sakamoto spoils off the 1-2 pitch. And Double Deuce will go back to get it back in and play for the Bandits.
I got a chance to talk to Emily Aller before the game, and she says her arm's feeling fine, but she's going to see how it goes as she's listed day to day, and the plan is for her to be back on Monday.
Be great to see number 24 back in the lineup. And a second straight called strike 3 as Gascoigne paints the black on the outside edge.
That was an even better battle for Michelle Gascoigne as she was able to get ahead of Sakamoto and get the strikeout. That's what Michelle Gascoigne needs to do, is she needs to get ahead of the hitters in order for her stuff to work. If she keeps falling behind, her control starts to get off.
So 2 up and 2 down via the strikeout, and that'll bring up Alexa Peterson. Peterson in the game last night drew the collar 0 for 4, striking out looking in the 6th inning of last night's game. We've got all kinds of folks that have subscribed to us tonight on YouTube at ChicagoBandits.com, including Jeanette Thompson, Donald Posius, Jelena Mesilevich, along with Sek Cardos, have all subscribed to us on YouTube tonight. You can also reach out to us as well at streaming at ChicagoBandits.com. You can send us an email and let us know where you're watching the game from tonight, as there you see the numbers on Alexa, the former Duck from Oregon. Peterson takes that 2-2 pitch right at the knees, and it looks like Michelle right now is in the zone, in the circle.
Michelle Gascoigne definitely showing early on that she has command of her pitches and great control, Mike.
Trying to get that form back that saw her an all-PF representative last season, and Peterson barely got a hold of that one, or else Gascoigne would have struck out the side here in the first.
If Michelle Gascoigne can go 1-2-3 this inning, that would help her confidence.
Great crowd on hand again this evening. We've been around the 1,500 mark throughout this series. Deuces are wild with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Peterson laces it to right center field. A.J. Andrews with a diving attempt, couldn't go to get it. And going into second base with a double on the play will be Alexa Peterson, as A.J. Andrews tried to come up with her second highlight film catch of the year. So Kristen Sandberg now will stand in for the Rebellion. Sandberg struggling a little bit offensively this season, but doing a great job behind the plate, hitting at 183, 2 home runs and 7 runs driven in. The Charge and the Racers are playing at Firestone Stadium. They are scoreless now at the end of 4 innings of play in that one, so that's one that the Rebellion will be looking at. As there you see the former Oregon Duck, Alexa Peterson, settling in at second base. And the former Georgia Bulldog laces it out to Double Deuce, and Brittany Cervantes puts it away for out number 3. So the Rebellion threatened here in their half of the first inning of play, but they failed to score on a base hit. The Bandits play flawless defense and 1 runner left on base. We've completed a half inning of play here at the ballpark at Rosemont. The Pennsylvania Rebellion have failed to score. The Chicago Bandits are coming to bat here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Welcome back here to the ballpark at Rosemont. Our first inning of play throughout the campaign is brought to us by Transnational. Transnational is the most trusted name and bank card and sponsor of the 2015 Scholar Athlete of the Year. Transnational is also a part of the party deck this evening in left field. Let's take a look at our starting lineup brought to us by Boomba, the official supplier for National Pro Fast Pitch Authentic Team Uniforms, training apparel, and replica sportswear. Cervantes, Patton, and Edwards, followed by Hernandez, Blank, and Williams. Vicky Galasso gets the start tonight behind the plate, followed by Danielle Zinkowitz and A.J. Andrews in center field. The Wilson Sporting Goods defensive alignment. Match your team colors or design a glove that represents your style today. Cheyenne Cordes will be in left. Courtney Cenas in center. Alexa Peterson will be in right. The infield from third to first has Brittany Lindley, Haruna Sakamoto, Sarah Precioso, and the former Bandit Elisa Goller, with Kristen Sandberg catching the former Mastodon from Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne, Miranda Kramer. Sarah Pauley getting a starting nod for the Racers in their game tonight against the Charge. And the former Texas A&M Corpus Christi star doing a great job in the circle tonight for the Racers. That game is scoreless now, heading to the top half of the fifth inning of play at Firestone Stadium. So Brittany Cervantes will be facing Miranda Kramer. 0-3 before she went down earlier in the season. A nice ERA of 3.05 as she stands in the southpaw, and with a nice change of speeds there, gets Cervantes well out on the front foot.
I had a chance to talk to Brittany Cervantes before the game started, and she said on her adjustment to right field that she's a little bit further from home. And also, this isn't her first time batting leadoff in her softball career. She actually batted leadoff her senior year at the University of Kentucky, Mike.
That certainly is an adjustment. You have to take a lot more pitches. Your responsibilities are different. You're trying to get on base and jumpstart the lineup. And Brittany certainly has shown the eye up there this year as well. She swings through that 1-1 pitch with Amber Patton on deck for the black and orange. The numbers are still there for Double Deuce. 353 on the year, 6 home runs and 18 runs driven in. Slightly open stance from the right-hand side for the former Wildcat. And now we certainly have Deuces Wild on number 22. Roman 4 coaching down at first base for Chicago. Mike Stewart-Wald at third base for the Bandits. .210 down each line here at the ballpark at Rosemont. .220 to straightaway center field. And it is certainly a hitter's night tonight. The wind coming right over our shoulders out of the southwest at about 15 to 20 miles an hour right over the center field fence. 2-2 offering is fisted over the screen and out of play.
Serve's doing a great job into that bat, Mike. She's really making Miranda Kramer work, and that could benefit the Bandits later on.
Get an opportunity to see what the whole repertoire is, which is a key. And a swing and a miss. The ball gets away from Sandberg, and Cervantes is going to be able to make first base on the pass ball.
Great awareness by Brittany Cervantes. The ball got away from Kristen Sandberg, and she took off running.
So it goes down as a strikeout for Miranda Kramer, but unfortunately for the black and yellow gold, they give up the base runner. Morgan Mello is now in the ball game for the Dallas Charge in the circle in that game against Akron. Patton slaps it to second base. Great defensive play out there by Precioso as she flips it out of her glove to Sakamoto for the force on Cervantes. What a play.
Great play by Haruna Sakamoto to hang on to that ball. Also, great dive by Sarah Precioso and taking away a potential hit for Amber Patton.
So now the leading home run hitter in the NPF stands in Taylor Edwards. Her 7 dingers on the season, tied with Kelly Kretschmann for that honor. 23 RBIs, puts her amongst the leaders.
This morning, Mike, I got to help out at the Jenny Finch camp over at the Dome. I was helping MC the events, and you learn so much from the women that she brings along, like Crystal Bustos, and also Jenny Finch herself.
Yeah, Crystal, a former star as well with the Akron Racers. Member of the Hall of Fame. So I'm assuming they had about 400 youth out there today?
At least. It was a lot of fun, though. I got to meet the Daigle family, Jenny's in-laws. I also got to meet Jenny's father, Doug.
Casey, of course, a former pitcher in the Houston Astros organization.
He also was a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and that's how Jenny Finch and him met when Jenny was at the University of Arizona.
Nice take there by Edwards on the 1-2. Natalie Hernandez has been swinging a hot bat, is on deck for the Bandits.
Nat did a great job at third base, filling in for Amber Patton, who had the day off yesterday.
Now she's in left as Amber's back at third base.
The season before, in 2014, she saw a majority of her time in the outfield.
Marty Aberzizian getting a new supply of softballs for the athletes out there. So good speed on the base pass with Amber Patton with one out. That ball is hit towards left field on the play, settling under it at the foul line and making the grab is Cheyenne Cordes for out number 2. And Cordes continues her fine defensive play for the Rebellion, holding Patton at first.
Great play by Cheyenne Cordes. She was able to locate that little fly ball by Taylor Edwards, and she was able to get under it for the out. She has picked up so far right where she left off yesterday.
So Natalie Hernandez has got the batting average up to 238 now, not with a couple home runs and 6 runs driven in. A couple extra base hits in the ball game last night. Well, that would be huge for the Bandits if the former UIC Flame could eventually step into that third base role for Patton. Also give the Bandits a little bit more pop on the right side. Nice frame that time by Sandberg, and Hernandez is in the hole.
I think that was the idea of putting Natalie Hernandez down at third base. They also kind of used her in the exhibition season just in case Amber Patton really did decide to retire.
Hernandez stays alive as she knocks it off the screen. Megan Blank, who had that solo home run her third of the season, is on deck. And there you see Amber Patton, as this is her swan song in the 2015 season. Amber so far on the season, 3 of 6 in the stolen base category. And that ball is fisted. Precioso with another flip over to Sakamoto. And Sarah Precioso with a couple fine defensive plays to get the Rebellion out of the inning. So for the Chicago Bandits, they failed to score. They also failed to register a base hit. They did get a base runner on a pass ball on a strikeout. There were no Rebellion errors and 1 runner left on base. Our first innings throughout the season are brought to us by Willowbrook Ford. As there you see once again Sarah Precioso, the former Oregon Duck, and check that, the former Temple Owl, flashing the leather out there for the visitors. Willowbrook Ford is located on Kingery Highway in Willowbrook, just 1 mile north of I-55. Drive with the Pros Drive at Willowbrook Ford. It's time for Tug of War, sponsored by Athletico. We're scoreless at the end of the first inning of play here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. We head now to the top half of the second inning of play. It'll be Elisa Goller, Sarah Precioso, and Brittany Lindley to face the southpaw, Michelle Gascoigne, for the Bandits. Elisa lines that one past Allison Ward, who's manning the third base camera tonight here for our Beacon Academy crew. Sarah Mogatich down at first base. Bilal Mohammed taking the evening off as Ronnie Capuzzo's in the big chair. Max Arnold also up here helping out with graphics, as well as CG, Brendan Culleton. Jacob is also with us out here tonight. Want to thank everybody on the Beacon Academy crew capturing the sights and sounds of NPF action this evening. Goller laces that one. It's knocked down by Natalie and Hernandez with the laser beam throw across the diamond on the 5-3 putout.
That was a great play by Amber Patton. She was able to stay with the play despite it being hit right at her, and she was able to put down Elisa Goller, who typically doesn't have speed, and was able to register the first out.
My apologies to Tim and the Patton family. Give credit where credit is due, as I was flashing back to last night. A rare night off for number 12. Sarah Precioso had that back-to-back terrific defensive plays. Last half inning will stand in. Precioso at 205 with 5 RBIs this season. Let up pitch is skied towards left field. Getting on her horse, back to the track. It hits the top of the wall and goes over. And Sarah Precioso, for the second evening in a row, hits the top of the fence and it goes over for a home run.
Michelle Gascoigne left that pitch way in the zone, and Precioso just unloaded it. You're going to see it right here. That one was right down the middle, and Precioso just unloaded on it and hit the top of the wall again. And it's going to the home run as AJ made a nice hustle over there.
Right over the Wolf's Flea Market and Athletical Physical Therapy sign in left center field, 200 feet away from home plate in a 1-0 Rebellion leader. So the third baseman Lindley now will stand in.
It's going to be interesting to see if Michelle Gascoigne can bounce back again from that and get the last 2 outs here.
Second home run of the season for Precioso, her 6th RBI.
Also at the camp today, Mike, I got to see Venus Taylor, who was on the inaugurational Bandits team back in 2005.
Yeah, a lot of history in this organization. We talked to Jenny about that last night. The game's back at IBC, Illinois Benedictine College. Good job of holding up that time by Lindley. Rebellion, that's only their 31st home run as a team this season. They've had difficulties on the offensive side, but the pitching certainly has been good. Grounded sharply, nice play by the former Hawkeye Megan Blank, and she takes it for the unassisted putout for out number 2.
Great positioning by Megan Blank. She was able to position herself right on that ground ball and was able to put down the speedy Lindley for the second out.
She looks really comfortable at first base. And of course, she's also played other infield positions at the collegiate level.
That's allowed them to move Brittany Cervantes back to the outfield.
Courtney Cenas now will stand in, the center fielder. There you get a good look at the former Seminole from Florida State, coming in at 233 with a home run and 8 runs driven in. Cenas was 1 for 3 in the game last night with 2 runs scored. She singled and scored in the 5th. She reached on a fielder's choice in that 3-run 7th and came around to score her 2nd run of the game in that frame. Gascoigne continued to try to stay ahead of the hitters out here this evening. Just made the one mistake to Precioso and made her pay. Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers continues his assault on Don Drysdale's scoreless streak. And of course, Orel Hershiser broke that mark. 37 innings now of scoreless baseball pitched in a row by Clayton Kershaw. Valiant have taken the lead on the home run by Precioso. 1-2 pitch is grounded to Tammy. She takes it on the long hop. Megan Blank tries to dig it out and can't do so. And a great job by Vicky Galasso to back up the play behind first base to prevent the runner from taking second.
That was a tough play for Tammy Williams. That was hit right on an angle where she would have to force her momentum back to first place. But Vicky Galasso did a great job of backing up the play, or else Courtney Sinos might have ended up at second base.
Now remember that, a base hit, the third hit of the evening for the Rebellion. There you get a good look at Tracy Bungie, the assistant coach who just came over on Thursday night, where she was in Lawrence, Kansas, her former home with the Jayhawks as a head coach, and raced over here to become Craig Montvitas' assistant for the rest of the season here in the NPF.
Definitely a long way from Kansas now.
Yes, joking around about her about frequent flyer miles. Cheyenne Cordes now will stand in. She had a great defensive game last night for the visitors. Cheyenne checks in at 220 on the season with 6 runs driven in. Good speed aboard for Pennsylvania, and she takes that 1-0 pitch on the corner. All kinds of groups out here this evening as we got another great crowd tonight here at the ballpark at Rosemont. A couple of organizations from Northwest Indiana joining us tonight, and the neck of the woods that I covered during the fall with the Munster Girls softball program out here. They're in the Don Q Lounge tonight down the right field line, and the Griffith softball program also out here this evening. Swing and a miss, and actually fouled off as Galasso was getting ready to try to throw out the streaking Sinas over at second base.
With the count the way it is, Mike, it's no surprise that they're sending Courtney Sinas over to second base and try and steal, but they're testing a shotgun arm.
There you see some of the Jenny Finch campers on your camera there. 1-2 pitches hit home run distance but foul. And the count will remain at 1-2.
It was definitely a great day over at Jenny Finch camp. All the campers definitely brought their A game, as Jenny Finch would say.
Talked to her about not only teaching the fundamentals, but also some of the lessons in life.
She's definitely made it out to be more than just a softball camp. I also talked to Vanessa Daigle about the idea of how it came about.
Sinas is 2 for 4 in stolen bases this year. Here's the 2-2. There she goes again. This one gets away from Vicky. So it will be a stolen base for Sinas.
Michelle Gascoigne's having a hard time with her control there as it went wild away from Vicky Galasso. She really got to recover now because it's a full count.
Brought to us by 3and2sports.com. Runner in scoring position here for the Rebellion as they try to add to their 1-0 lead, which was fashioned on the solo home run by Sarah Preciosa, the second consecutive evening that she's hit the top of the fence. Last night in right center, tonight in left center field.
She's hitting the top of the fence in both fields.
So here's another payoff now coming up. And it's skied on the play towards the left center field area where Tammy Williams will go into foul territory, and she will retire Cheyenne Cordes. And they retire the Bellion, but not before the visitors get on the score sheet. They pick up a run on 2 base hits. The solo home run by Sarah Precioso, her second of the year, has given the Pennsylvania Rebellion a 1-0 lead over the Chicago Bandits on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Bandits will start it off with Megan Blank, followed by Tammy Williams and Vicky Galasso to face the southpaw Miranda Kramer. Has been staked to a 1-0 lead on a Sarah Precioso solo home run last half inning. Rosemont Health and Fitness is a multi-purpose health club near the intersection of Higgins and Manheim. You can check them out on the web at rosemontfitness.com. Blank had her third home run of the season in the game last night, which temporarily gave the Bandits a 2-1 lead, Eric, and things were certainly looking up for the Black and Orange at that time, and that was also RBI number 13 on the season for the former Hawkeye from Iowa.
Unfortunately, they let it get away in the 7th inning.
Megan's done a pretty good job of handling left-handed pitchers, too, which has allowed the Bandits to go ahead and put Brittany Cervantes in right on a more permanent basis instead of a platoon situation. And that, of course, frees up the designated player spot for whoever the hot bat is, and tonight it's Taylor Edwards. Let's see if they turn Megan loose here now and give her a green light. And she walks on 4 pitches.
That was a great at-bat by Megan Blank. She just let them go by. They weren't in her zone, and she just let them go by. And with that, she's rewarded first base.
So Tammy Williams had a great evening last night, 2 for 3 with an RBI base hit in the 4th, also doubled in the 6th. And let's see if that gets her going now offensively, heading down the stretch. Bandits still looking for their first base hit of the evening, as there you get a good look at the former Wildcat from Northwestern, defending NPF Defensive Player of the Year, and she certainly has done nothing to relinquish that crown in 2015.
She only has 1 error this season.
Yeah, the chances are well over 100 on the year at shortstop for number 2. Got to toot my horn a little bit here as the Pale Hosts from the south side of Chicago with a 6-1 lead in their game against the Yankees, as there's a fly ball caught by Cordes. Boy, Cheyenne is just catching everything out there right now.
Cheyenne's covering a lot of ground out in left field. She was able to get under that blooper by Tammy Williams. And I knew you were going to talk about that.
Don't worry, Johnny Danks is pitching. It's still early.
Well, it's in the 6th inning now, so never know.
So here's Vicky Galasso getting an opportunity to start tonight behind the plate. And she puts a little blooper back there, a diving grab on the play, and they're going to end up trying to double up Blank, but they can't get it done. Sarah Precioso doing it at the bat as well as in the field. What a play.
Great hustle by Sarah Precioso. She got a pretty good jump on that ball, and she was able to dive and take that one away. That's now 3 hits she's taken away from the Bandits tonight.
Well, boys, let's rack that one up as she right now tries to hold off the injury to the right wrist. But what a great jump she got on this ball, and diving towards the line, and to be able to keep that ball in the glove was nothing short but spectacular. So Sarah Preciosa going to her right on a couple of plays to get runners at second base with a flip to Sakamoto earlier in the game, and now shows that she's just as adept of going to left.
Maybe the Bandits should stop hitting in that direction.
So here's Z now as Zimkowitz will try to keep things going with 2 outs. Daniel coming in at .235 on the season. A home run with 11 runs driven in. Bandits now with 7 players in double digits in RBIs this season. A.J. Andrews on deck, the former Tiger from LSU, hands the bat back to Z.
So the story of Jenny Finch's camp, how it came about, was Jenny was originally working with Cal Ripken at his camp and really wanted to run a camp her own way. And so she was kind of thinking about it, kind of pondering the thought with Vanessa, and Vanessa said, "Why don't you?"
Precioso now will flip it over to Goler, and we'll continue with that thought, Eric, the next half inning. But right now the Bandits have not been able to solve Sarah Precioso either at the plate or in the field. In the inning for the Black and Orange, no runs, no base hits. There were no rebellion errors and 1 runner left on base. The Bandits have stranded 2 through 2 innings of play. We'll head to the top half of the 3rd inning of play. The Pennsylvania Rebellion on a Sarah Precioso solo home run lead the Chicago Bandits 1-0 on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Dr. Jackson and oral health care professionals provide unmatched comprehensive family dentistry in the western suburbs. Top half of the 3rd inning of play, and a 1-0 Pennsylvania Rebellion leader. Back to the top of the order with Olivia Watkins, Haruna Sakamoto, and Alexa Peterson for the visitors. And Erica, continue on with that background information on the Jenny Finch camp.
So Jenny and her in-law, Vanessa Daigle, were talking about it. And Vanessa Daigle's all over the idea. She's like, yeah, why can't you? So they did it the first year to see how it went. And it turned out to be a real success and hasn't stopped since.
The rest is history, as they say.
I saw people pretty much coming all over the country just to come here to Rosemont. I saw someone from Tennessee, someone from as far as Louisiana.
Well, you know, it's a great location. It's essentially located in the country. And, of course, very convenient right off the expressway here to get here from the airport in minutes. So it's a great location, a great venue with the dome here in Rosemont. Watkins so far is one of 2 Michelle Gascoigne strikeout victims to start the game.
I also got to talk to Jenny's father-in-law about Casey and how he's a land developer now.
Nice transition for him after his professional baseball career.
And from what Jenny's father-in-law told me, he says that Casey likes that more than anything else, aside from Jenny, of course. I think he said he thinks he actually likes it better than playing Major League Baseball.
Gascoigne cannot get Olivia Watkins as the speedy leadoff hitter for the Rebellion. Shows that motor that she developed over at Western Kentucky with the Hilltoppers.
Great hustle by Olivia Watkins. She had that odd chop hit, and like most slap hitters try to do is put it on the ground. She did just that and used her speed to get over to first base.
Watkins certainly a threat to steal. 4 of 6 on the season. The Rebellion have swiped 37 bases in 52 attempts this year. So Craig Monvitas now will send signals down to Haruna Sakamoto, who struck out looking her first time up. There goes Watkins. The ball's bunted in the air, and it hits the first base bag, or did it go foul? They say it went foul. That was awfully close to hitting that first base bag and bouncing into foul territory. Watkins would have scored on that one.
That was an odd little hit. Fortunately for the Bandits, it went their way as that bunt went right past Megan Blank.
Watkins was literally 3/4 of the way to third base, and that ball touched the fence just down from the Bandit dugout.
They're definitely trying to send Olivia Watkins here.
The Dallas Charge now lead the Akron Racers 1-0 in the 6th inning in a game that's very important for the Rebellion. Sarah Pauly giving up that run in the 6th. Ball will land foul. Caitlin Richardson, the former Longhorn, 2 for 3 in the game today for the Charge, leading them offensively. Sakamoto bunts with 2 strikes. Gascoigne to second base, and it throws wild into center field. So Watkins will slide into second base. Hopefully T-Will is okay on the collision over there. And let's see what they rule on this one. Obviously Sakamoto reaches on the fielder's choice. And the question is, do they rule that a base hit or a throwing error on Gascoigne?
That wasn't a very good throw by Michelle Gascoigne. It was wide of the bag, and it was completely out of the reach of Tammy Williams.
Mike Stewart is going to come out right now and discuss things. The Bandit bullpen starts to stir a little bit as well. In that game between the Charge and the Racers, Morgan Mello has a one-hitter going in that game.
It's been interesting to see Morgan Mello really develop after a rough start.
Yeah, she pitched well here in the series for the Charge. Right now she's shut down a Racer team. Jill Barrett has the only hit in the game for Akron. So they do rule an error, I believe, on Gascoigne. They do now. Just put it up on the board. And now that ball gets away from Galasso, and both runners will move up on the wild pitch.
The runner is on second and third now. Michelle Gascoigne's really starting to suffer with her lack of control here as they allowed the runners to move up. Michelle Gascoigne really needs to find that control and find that command that she displayed in the first inning.
So the error now has gotten the Bandits in trouble here. Peterson has a double in her only trip to the plate to right center field in the first.
Michelle Gascoigne has to be really careful with Alexa Peterson.
With first base open, she's being very careful right now. And with the hitters count at 2-0 and Kristen Sandberg on deck, there's danger here for the Bandit starter. They give her the green light on 3-0, and she delivers. Watkins will score. Sakamoto will come in and score. It's cut off on the play by Megan Blank, so a 2-run RBI single off the bat of Alexa Peterson, and just like that, the Rebellion have taken a 3-0 lead.
That was a great at-bat by Alexa Peterson. She found the ball right in the zone and drilled it right up the middle to drive in 2 runs.
So Peterson is perfect on the evening now, 2 for 2, and those are RBIs 8 and 9 on the season for the right fielder for Pennsylvania.
This is the 3rd start in a row where Michelle Gascoigne has given up at least 3 runs.
So Kristen Sandberg, who was hit twice in the game last night, will stand in. Takes that first pitch for strike 1.
I think a big question mark, Mike, going into Hoover, Alabama later on is, can the Bandits win with someone else besides Monica Abbott?
Well, you got to have at least 2 or 3 dependable pitchers. Lacey Waldrop is another candidate to try to step into that role, and we'll see how that plays out.
Lacey has been pitching well, but the problem is every time she's pitching, the Bandits haven't really been hitting. But it's really a risk that you play when you go down to Hoover, Alabama, and put in someone inexperienced like Lacey Waldrop, who has not pitched in the playoffs at all as a rookie.
Yeah, it's certainly the bigger stage there. Ball is hit up the elevator shaft where Megan Blank will give away to Z, and Danielle will put it away for the first out here in the Rebellion 3rd.
That was a great pitch by Michelle Gascoigne right in on the hands of Kristen Sandberg as she was able to pop it up.
So Alexa Peterson remains at first base with 1 out now as Elisa Goler will stand in. Goler lined out to Patton, who knocked the ball down in the air and then threw across to get her back in the 2nd. Nice catch. We're still looking for one up here. Don't worry, Eric, I'll protect you. Yeah, right.
I got your back.
I'll be underneath this desk faster than you could say Monica Abbott.
I was going to guess faster than a Monica Abbott fastball.
Lisa takes the 1-1 pitch right there. Lisa's done a great job of drawing bases on balls this year, so the on-base percentage is a lot higher than the .250 batting average.
Her RBIs have fallen.
Yeah, perennially she was in the 20s with the Bandits.
Until about last season, when she had 1 home run in 14.
We will conclude the 3-game set tomorrow afternoon with a matinee at 3:05. Pre-game coverage will start around 2:50 in the afternoon tomorrow on Sunday. And then the Akron Racers come a-calling here on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. 7:05 starts with a 6:50 pregame, and that'll wrap up the regular season here in 2015. There goes the runner to throw down from Galasso, hits the runner and goes into left center field. And getting up and moving into third base will be Peterson on the 2nd Bandit error of the inning.
Bandits have been really playing sloppy defense. That ultimately hurt them last night. They really got to step up their defense here with 1 out, and someone who can hit home runs and drive in RBIs at bat.
So Vicky Galasso is going to get charged with the error on this one on the take. Peterson got a great jump, and then the ball tailed into the runner and went off her backside past Z into left center field as Goler fouls that one off. And we'll have another 3-2 Sports.com payoff As Alexa Peterson has been very busy out here, the former Duck from the University of Oregon.
Lisa Goller is doing a great job at making Michelle Gascoigne work.
And now Galasso and Gascoigne, the G crew, will come out and try to make sure they're on the same page.
Michelle Gascoigne really needs an out here. She really needs that huge second out, especially with Alexa Peterson on third base.
Tatum Edwards loosening up in the Bandits bullpen. Is there you get a good look at the great crowd on hand tonight. We talked about some of the groups that are out here this evening, including the Cherville Heat from Northwest Indiana. The Glenview Titans have also joined us out here tonight, along with the St. Louis Extreme. Edge Chaos is also enjoying the game this evening, along with the Plainfield Twisters. Let up pitch is fisted over the head of Tammy Williams. That'll be an RBI single off the bat of Goller to the opposite field. And the Rebellion now have put up their second 3-run inning here in the series, and they now lead it 4-0.
That was a great at-bat by Elisa Goller, fouling off those pitches from Michelle Gascoigne and making Michelle work, and it ultimately tired her down as she was able to get a fister one out to the outfield and was able to bring that run in.
So still only one out in the frame, and now here's Sarah Precioso.
Michelle Gascoigne has to be careful with Precioso because when she left that one in the zone, Precioso made her pay.
Rebellion have all 6 hits in the game so far. As now the Bandit bullpen starting to get active. The crowd having a good time out here tonight, but certainly need a little bit to cheer about here as the Rebellion have jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Precioso with a line drive to Blank, and she'll double Goller off the first base bag. So that was a well-needed double play there for Michelle Gascoigne, as that goes a line out 3 and a double play as they double off Goller off the first base bag. But not before the damage is done by the visitors. They pick up 3 runs in the inning. They do so on 3 base hits. There were 2 costly Bandit errors, and with the double play, nobody left on base. There's work to do out here tonight at the ballpark at Rosemont. We head to the bottom half of the third as the Rebellion lead the Bandits 4-0. It's cowbell time here at the ballpark at Rosemont on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. The street is beautiful NB. And Amber Patton. Saw some action last night in right field, although she did not get a chance to hit. Coming in at 174 on the season with 8 hits and 46 at-bats. And Miranda Kramer put up some great numbers with the Mastodons from Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne. Her senior season had a record of 20-10, 332 strikeouts, and 202 in a 2/3 innings of work. That's incredible.
They're definitely showing that a mid-major school can really make an impact.
Boy, you look at, she had 18 strikeouts in a game against Marist. 14 against Valparaiso, 12 against South Dakota State, 12 against Central Michigan, 15 strikeouts in Omaha in a playoff game, 15 against North Dakota State, 15 against IUPUI twice. 3 times. She had 14 in another game. And Andrews swings and misses at the 2-2 pitch.
Another great strikeout by Miranda Kramer. She went with the breaking ball and got it away from A.J. Andrews to get the first out.
So that's the second strikeout now for Kramer. She struck out Cervantes to start the game, who comes up now. And Cervantes reached first base on the wild pitch off the drop third strike. Getting back to my conversation earlier this evening with Tracy Bungie, the first base coach and assistant coach for the Pennsylvania Rebellion, talking about the national team and the whole debate going on right now whether or not softball is going to be able to get back in the Olympic Games. Of course, back in 2010, when they had the World Games out in Venezuela, there was all kinds of talk about the fact that the NPF players were allowed to leave the league and go play in the World Games. Many of those players, as Coach Bungie talked to me about, had injury issues because of the wear and tear of not only the playing but the travel. Alec Giannakopoulos will get us an interview. There's a long drive by Cervantes. Cordes goes back to the track. It goes over the wall, and Brittany Cervantes will touch them all. Cancel the post-game show as Miranda Kramer gives up her first hit and first run of the evening on the 7th home run of the season by Brittany Cervantes, and that was a no doubt about her.
First home run for Brittany in a while. Last night we saw her get just under one, and I knew for a fact that Brittany Cervantes would eventually get another home run. That's her 7th of the year.
RBI number 19 on the campaign for the former Wildcat from Kentucky. And that'll bring up Amber Patton, and hopefully that will jumpstart the Bandit offense here.
I talked to Coach Stewald the other day about batting Brittany Cervantes in the leadoff spot. He said that's what won the game against the USSSA Pride, which was batting Brittany Cervantes leadoff, which lit a spark for them in that game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they decide to go back to her in the cleanup spot come playoff time, and I think that will certainly be the case, Eric, when Emily Allard comes back off the DL.
Emily Allard commented to me that Brittany Cervantes is doing a great job filling a difficult role in the lineup because the leadoff hitter is supposed to be the tempo setter.
Patton takes that 1-1 pitch on a 68-mile-an-hour fastball upstairs. White Sox continue to lead the Bronx Bombers 6-1 on the south side. The Cubs lead the Brewers 4-1 in the top of the 8th up in Milwaukee.
I'm starting to notice, Mike, I got my turn last night, now it's yours.
Well, like I said, it's still 3 innings of offensive ball left for the Bronx Bombers. So there you see the average for Amber. Hitters count, but she takes that fastball right there. And we'll have another 3and2sports.com payoff pitch here.
It's going to be important for Amber Patton to get on base here, especially with Taylor Edwards coming to bat.
4-6-0 for the Rebellion, 1-1-2 for the Bandits. And the payoff is lashed past the third baseman, Brittany Lindley. And Amber Patton continues her hot inning, doing a great job of going with the outside pitch the opposite way.
Great hit by Amber Patton. Drove it right through the hole on the left side. And that gets her on base, which is huge for the Bandits. It's seeming like so far that Brittany Cervantes' home run has lit a charge in the Bandits lineup.
42nd hit of the season for the former Blue Demon for DePaul. And now Taylor Edwards will try to keep the inning alive here with only one out and one in. Getting back to my conversation with Tracy Bungie, 27 years as a head coach on the D1 level at Iowa State, Yale, Kansas and Lawrence, and with the Bobcats from Oregon University. She was mentioning that the World Championships, the last time they're held every 2 years, were in Haarlem, Holland. And next year they're going to be in British Columbia, Canada. But those World Championships coincide with the NPF season in July. So with the ASA's decision to have the players make a decision between the Pro League or the World Championship team, they have those World Championships at the same time that the league is in the middle of their season.
Well, the thing about that is they're having them decide because the U.S. softball organization doesn't have the money they used to get from the Olympics. When the Olympics cut softball, they weren't able to get funding anymore. So now that forces them in a tight spot.
Edwards takes the 1-2 downstairs. Yeah, I was asking Coach about that, how they could possibly have the seasons run concurrently so the players can continue to play throughout the calendar year, but there's logistical concerns and there's economic concerns. And Edwards swings through that one for the third strikeout for Miranda Kramer.
Great recovery by Miranda Kramer. She's able to strike out Taylor Edwards there, and that should hopefully, for the Rebellion, calm her down after giving up that home run to Brittany Cervantes and that single to Amber Patton.
Got all kinds of folks checking with us this evening on streaming at ChicagoBandits.com. That ball is laced over the first base line, but foul by Natalie Hernandez, is bidding for her fourth extra base hit of the series. Our good friend James Wasson from up north checking in with us tonight from Fargo, North Dakota. Thanks, Jim, for your continued viewership here at streaming at ChicagoBandits.com. Dale Leslie, along with Kate Grace Harnett, has subscribed to us here on YouTube this evening. Ashley, I think we got that problem solved now as the scoreboard is up to date at 4-1 in the bottom of the third. Ashley Stutzman making sure, keeping the T's crossed and the I's dotted here. Hernandez slashes it over to Preciosa, and that's a mistake tonight as she flips it over to Sakamoto to end the inning for Chicago. But the Bandits do break on the scoreboard. They do so on the solo home run, the 7th of the season, by Brittany Cervantes. They pick up 2 hits in the frame. There were no Rebellion errors and 1 runner left on base. 3 innings in the books here at the ballpark at Rosemont. It's a Pennsylvania Rebellion 4 and the Chicago Bandits 1. Eric Katz will take over play-by-play for the next couple innings here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
You can enjoy this.
Worldwide security service and investigations. They help with securing answers as well as peace of mind to all your security needs. That's Global Security Group.
All right, welcome back to the ballpark in Rosemont. I'm Eric Katz. 4-1 in favor of the Pennsylvania Rebellion. And leading off for the Rebellion is the third baseman, Brittany Lindley. So far tonight, Lindley is 0 for 1. She grounded out to Megan Blank, who took the ball unassisted to get the out. So here's Lindley. Shell Gascoigne gave up 1 in the second inning thanks to a solo home run by Sarah Precioso. There's the ball, and it's going to be 1-0 to Lindley.
Lindley, a graduate of Cicero North Syracuse High School up in New York, state of New York. Played, of course, for the New York, New Jersey Comets, one of the teams that's moved around, the Tennessee Diamonds back in the day.
There's a strike, and it's going to be 2-1. That was Aaron's team at one point when he was the general manager of the Rockford Thunder. They also were down in Texas for a period of time. That one's fouled off, and it's going to be even at 2-2.
And Sammy Marshall had to do a little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump there at the Bandit dugout. Speaking of the Bandit dugout, Alec Giannakopoulos will have an in-dugout interview for us in the top half of the fifth, as well as our Boomba player of the game after tonight's contest.
2-2 on Lindley. And that's going to load it up now at 3-2, brought to you by 3-2 Sports.
Former Scarlet Knight from Rutgers University, second all-time with the university in RBIs, third in doubles. Had almost 200 hits in her collegiate career.
That one's lined to left field for a single. So that's going to be the first hit of the evening for Lindley and the 7th hit overall for the Pennsylvania Rebellion.
Yeah, I really like the hitting approach that Craig Montvitas' ball club has taken in the first 2 games of this series.
So here's Courtney Sinas. Last time up, she had a single and also stole a base.
That ball game is a final now, so that's bad news for the Rebellion. The Dallas Charge had defeated the Akron Racers 25, and that puts them right now 4 games ahead of the Rebellion.
0-1 to Sinas. There's a bunt. And it's going to be 0-2 now.
Kelsey Jones will be our 5th inning interviewee by Alec Giannakopoulos. Former Carmel Greyhound. Played ball down at Marion County in high school and made the Bandits in the open tryout after her career at Louisville.
Gets a piece of that, and it's still going to be 1-2. One of the things that impresses me about the interviews, Mike, is they're always so eye-opening, especially learning more about the players inside the dugout and about their story and how they came here. And there it goes. And that ball gets away. So Lindley's going to have a stolen base.
So the Bandits running on Vicky Galasso out here tonight.
Two and 2 to Sinas. Lindley now at second base on the stolen base.
Brittany picks up her 4th stolen base of the season on that theft.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 3, so Sinas goes down swinging. And it's going to be 1 out now for Cheyenne Cordes. Last time up, she popped out to Tammy Williams.
Third strikeout for Michelle Gascoigne in the ball game with no free passes issued so far.
4-7-0 for the Rebellion, 1-2-2 for the Bandits. So Mike, when you first came here in 2010, what was the thing that impressed you the most about the Chicago Bandits organization?
Well, I knew I was coming into an organization that had a lot of success in the past. And, of course, Jenny Finch was bowing out of her career at that time, and there were a lot of the players that have eventually moved on that were on that team that year. Rachel Folden was a stalwart designated player and catcher for the team. Stacy May at third base. You had some great outfield with Patton out there, and pitching staff was second to none. Of course, Jenny anchoring the staff. Playing over at Judson University was an interesting experience.
How so?
Got a little bit toasty in the press box.
1-2 now to Cordes. There's a line, but it's going to go foul, and it's still going to be 1-2.
There you see Allison Ward, who's doing a great job on the camera at third base for us. The good thing about that vantage point, you were right behind home plate, so you were not as far away as we are here, and you were right on top of the action. I mean, you could really hear everybody even without a microphone on the field.
1-2 now to Cordes. There's a strikeout for Michelle Gascoigne. Cordes goes down looking, and that's a huge strikeout for Michelle Gascoigne, and now there are two down with Lindley still on second base.
Well, let's see if Michelle can get back in the groove here. She struck out the first two hitters in the game, and now she struck out the last two.
So here's Olivia Watkins. Last time up, she singled and eventually came around to score.
Well, that Bandit infield is really moving around. They had both Patton and Blank charging. T-Will was going over to third, and Z was kind of in no man's land between first and second.
I think Z was also supposed to get over to first base on that play. Two and 0 to Watkins.
Rebellion have out hit the Bandits 7-2 if you're just joining us. Solo home run by Sarah Preciosa started things off for the visitors in the second. They then pick up three more in the third. Two-run RBI single off the bat of Alexa Peterson, and then Elisa Golda with a bloop RBI single to left to culminate the three-run rally before Brittany Cervantes got the Bandits on the board last half inning with the solar blast.
That one's bunted, but foul. It's going to even up the count now, 2-2.
Dale Leslie, our good friend from across the pond in Manchester, England, checking in. Jerry Berquist, also a longtime viewer, says that him and Marielle are watching the game tonight. Marielle had softball practice, so they're a little bit late checking in, but that's okay, Jerry. Better late than never.
That one's roped foul.
That's going to end up on Jenny Finch way.
Definitely went a long way. Also, were you there when the Bandits first played their game here at the ballpark in Rosemont, Mike?
Yeah, that was the season after the year at Judson.
There's a ground ball through the hole, and that's going to get through. Here's the throw down the home. So another run scores. An RBI single by Olivia Watkins. And the Rebellion extend their lead 5-1.
Boy, that was a very aggressive move there by Craig Montvitas because he had Lindley running with the pitch. And that allowed her to score easily on that throw in from Cervantes. If she's not running on that pitch, she will end up at third base with 2 outs. So that is a huge run there for the Rebellion, and they do it by getting the runner moving as soon as the ball is released by Gascoigne.
RBI single brings in Lindley. And now batting is Haruna Sakamoto. Last time up, she reached on an error.
The Bandit bullpen is still quiet.
That's going to end up in the bullpen.
Some of the other groups out here tonight that we want to talk about and recognize. The Oak Lawn Gems from the southwest side of the city. We mentioned the Jenny Finch Campers are out here tonight. Also from the south side, the Makina Blue Wave have joined us here this evening.
1-2 to Sakamoto.
Great job by Johnny Soul again, getting these softball groups involved and in the ballpark. The Arlington Heights softball team is also with us here, along with the Midwest Mystics.
And there goes Watkins, and that's a ground ball. Z's going to have to throw it over in a hurry. And they get the out at first base, but not before the Rebellion tack on another run thanks to an RBI single by Olivia Watkins. We head now to the bottom of the 5th inning. 5-1 in favor of the Pennsylvania Rebellion. You're watching Chicago Bandits softball on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
Monster Girls softball occupies the Don Q Lounge. Cherville Heater here. Welcome to Blanket Titans. The Edge Chaos. The Plainfield Twisters. The Oakland Gems.
Lounge is Don Q Rum. They're right down the right field line and available for parties of 10 to 50 people. And we've got a group down there tonight at the Don Q Rum Runner Lounge enjoying the action out here. I want to thank them for watching the action out here tonight, and they're hoping for a Bandit rally here as the Black and Orange are down by 4.
Due up to bat for the Bandits in the bottom of the 4th inning is Megan Blank, Tammy Williams, and Vicky Galasso.
Got several birthday folks out here tonight. Kaylin Zumdahl celebrating birthday number 6 tonight. Emily Van Hoos has turned 11 today. Ava Ruggles also hitting the big 1-1 tonight. Kylie Villarreal has turned 12. And also happy birthday out to Mark Lowenthal.
There's a shot, but right at Elisa Goller for the first out.
At the plate, the shortstop, number 2, Sammy.
Megan Blank continues to hit the ball on the nose.
That one even took Elisa Goller off her feet for a moment. And here is Tammy Williams. Last time up, she flew out to Courtney Sinas.
Well, since 2010, Eric, Aaron Moore has been the constant. He's been the GM the whole time here, and there's been coaching changes and personnel changes, but Aaron continues to work the best as what he can with the resources he has, and of course it certainly helped to have the Mayor Stevens and the folks from Rosemont step up and build this terrific facility.
And that one hits Williams. So Williams shakes that one off and heads over to first base.
Bill Sokolis has been dedicated to the game, not only on the professional level, but also youth softball as well with his family. And his commitment has been unmatched here in the league as Tammy tries to walk off the ouchie there.
So here's Vicky Galasso. Last time up, she was robbed of a hit by the second baseman, Sarah Precioso, who is playing some excellent defense over on the right side. Williams on her first base and 1 out.
But Miranda Kramer showing once again that some of these players from the mid-major schools, both offensively and defensively, can play at the highest level.
There's a ball, and it's going to be 1-1.
But she's had pinpoint control tonight. Fastball right around 66 and changing speeds excellently.
She can stay healthy, Mike. She'll be in for a really nice career in the MPF. 5-8-0 for the Rebellion, 1-2-2 for the Bandits. There's a shot. High. And you can say goodbye to that one. That's a 2-run home run for Vicky Galasso. Her 3rd of the year. The Bandits seem to be back into this one. 5-3 is the score now.
So the backup catcher getting into the offensive act with that towering blast as she took advantage of the wind blowing directly over the center field wall as that one got aided and got some giddy up out of here. So the former star from Idaho State gets the Bandits right back into this one with a towering opposite field blast, scoring Megan Blake, or check that, scoring Tammy Williams.
So here's Danielle Zimkowitz. That's the second home run of the game for the Chicago Bandits. The first one was by Brittany Cervantes, now by Vicky Galasso.
We talked about the Rebellion hitting 31 home runs this season. That's only the 25th home run of the year for the Bandits as a team.
There's a look at
this team is built on speed, no doubt about that.
Well, we knew their power numbers would suffer with the loss of Megan Wiggins.
Not to mention Kristen Butler.
Yes, but the speed game seems to be working so far. I just think the Bandits need that extra pop for it to really work to their advantage. Two and 1 to Zimkowitz.
Still no action in either bullpen, so Kramer and Gascoigne will stay in the circle for their respective teams in the near future here.
Three and 1 to Zimkowitz. Pretty risky walking Danielle Zimkowitz, who also possesses that speed that the Bandits are built on. There's a shot right at the third baseman, Brittany Lindley. 2 down.
Well, the Rebellion have certainly tightened things up defensively tonight. Precioso and Lindley doing a great job in support of Miranda Kramer, the former Mastodon there. You get a good look at Double Deuce. He's given up 3 hits and 3 runs so far in tonight's game.
So here's AJ Andrews. Last time up, she struck out swinging. 5-8-0 for the Rebellion. 3-3-2 for the Bandits. There's the ground ball. Kramer's going to put that over to first base for the out, but not before Vicky Galasso comes up big with a 2-run home run to make the score now 5-3. We head now to the top of the 5th inning. Coming up next, Alex Janikopoulos will have a very special guest in the dugout. You're watching Chicago Bandits softball on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. to fund research to get rid of that disease. And Dugout side is Alec Janakopoulos with a very special bandit. Take it away, Alec.
Yeah, thanks, guys. In the dugout right now with Kelsey Jones. Kelsey, you described one of your biggest challenges to transfer from Mizzou to Louisville. What did you learn and kind of grow from that experience?
Basically, I had to start over at a new school, and I didn't know anybody. I had some friends at Missouri that I was leaving and coming to a new place that I didn't know anybody, and I was joining a new team, and just the whole process of starting over was really challenging, but I think it made me a better person and a better player for sure, because I had to work a lot harder to make my spot on the team, I guess.
And is there a parallel from joining an all-new team in college to joining an all-new team here with the Bandits?
Absolutely. I mean, you come in here, the same situation, you don't know anybody. I mean, luckily, I had known a few of the girls just from growing up and playing with them, but you make all new friends. It's a whole new system, new coaches, new players, new front office. Everybody's, new to me, so it was similar, but a little different at the same time, just because it's new for every rookie, I think. So.
And how quick for you was the acclimation process to the pros?
I don't know. I feel like I'm still acclimating now, even this late in the stage, just because it's not something that I think you can adjust to quickly. I think you take your whole rookie year to probably adjust. So I'm still adjusting every day and getting acclimated, and when we head to championships, that'll be a new experience to get acclimated to as well. So I think that's just something, it's a growing and a learning process, I think.
And speaking of the learning process, if you could tell yourself something in June to kind of help you get acclimated faster that you've learned, what would it be?
Just to, I think, go with the flow. I'm not somebody that can really do that. I'm very much like to be in control of decisions and things that happen around me, and it's hard to do that in this league just because of the way it's set up. We play through the rain and long delays and things like that, and just because we got to get these games in, we have such a short season, and we travel long stretches of time and have to play that night. It takes a lot of getting used to, and I think once I learned to just go with it and let a lot of anxiety go. So that's one thing I wish I had known early on.
You grew up with rhythmic gymnastics. How does that transfer over or help you in softball?
Oh man, I wish it did, because I lost all sort of flexibility when I quit that. But I think the thing that translated the most was just the hard work and the long hours that I had to put in with gymnastics. Even at a young age, I was 8, 9, 10 years old, and I was in the gym for hours on end just trying to perfect my skill. And I think it's the same thing in softball. Anything that is a skill sport takes a lot of time and effort, and I loved it. It just was taking time away from softball, so and can't go pro in gymnastics. So.
And finally, you majored in psychology with a focus in sports. What would be your dream job in that field?
Well, my dream job from the time I was young was to be a sports psychologist with an NFL team. I love psychology and I love working with people, and I love sports, obviously, so I want to combine all those things. I'm actually about to start a journey working in an athletic department with athletes, more as a mentor role or something along those lines. So I still get to work with sports and work with people, so that for now that's my dream job, but definitely a sports psychologist in the NFL. Football's my favorite sport, so I'd love to be able to do that.
Okay, well, great first year, and wish you best of luck down the road.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
Thanks, Alec. Terrific interview. So the Rebellion go down 1-2-3. We head now to the Bandit half of the 5th inning. 5-3 in favor of the Pennsylvania Rebellion. You're watching Chicago Bandits softball on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
And at half of number 5, which is brought to us by American Chartered Bank. Bank where the pros bank at American Chartered Bank. And the Pennsylvania Rebellion have now gone to the bullpen.
Yes, indeed. They took out Miranda Kramer, who had a pretty good night tonight.
4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. Miranda walked 1 and struck out 3.
So here's Brittany Cervantes. Last time up, she homered.
Emily Wyman, the Pasadena, Maryland native, comes in the ball game now for the Rebellion. Emily so far in the season 1-7 with a sparkling 2.89 earned run average. 51 2/3 innings pitched, giving up 48 hits, 26 runs, only 21 of those earned. She's got a great strikeout to walk ratio, 46 strikeouts and only 15 walks.
There's the ball. It's going to be 1-1. I'd just like to thank the Michael family for their kind words on the broadcast, watching from beautiful Hawaii.
We're glad to provide the service to the Michael family as well as everybody around the globe. Dale Leslie again checking in from Manchester, England earlier.
There's a shot. That's going to be a can of corn for Sarah Precioso. 1 down. And here's Amber Patton.
Wyman, a former Wolfpack from North Carolina State, was a 22nd pick in the NPF draft in the 5th round by the Rebellion. She's a first-team All-ACC honoree 3 times in her career, and also the ACC Pitcher of the Year back in 2013. So she brings some great credentials to the league. Ryan Lambert is also checked in with us on YouTube. Thanks for watching tonight, Ryan.
I was just thinking, Mike, what if we had an NPF team in Hawaii?
Well, it would certainly increase the travel expense, that's for sure, but it'd be nice if we could go on a road trip over to Waikiki.
We could have a beach shirt broadcast with the little hulas on. One and 2 down to Patton. Last time up, she had a single.
Well, a great crowd on hand tonight. We talked about all the groups that are in attendance here, and you can certainly hook up your group with Johnny Soul in the Bandits office. Use a outing for a fundraiser for your group with vouchers. You also get discounted prices. Some of the other groups tonight, the Woodstock Girls Softball program is here, along with the Waukesha Hurricanes and the Roselle Rockers.
There's a shot to Precioso. Throws it over to Goller for the 2nd out. 2 down. So coming to bat now is the designated player, Taylor Edwards. So far tonight, she is 0 for 2. Last time she batted, she struck out.
Keep in mind that we'll have our Combat Sports post-game report. Alec Giannakopoulos will be interviewing our Boomba player of the game, and we'll also have our Diamond Sports play of the game. And right now, that diving grab by Sarah Precioso is right on the top of the list.
There's a strike. So last night, Mike, as you know, my parents were at the game last night. They had quite a bit of luck. My brother Dan decided to jump in line in the Jenny Finch line at the last moment, and he got her autograph.
Yeah, I saw that. Your dad was probably holding up the ticket stub with Jenny's autograph on it as well.
He brought up to Jenny Finch about the whole sports science video of Jenny completely shattering the machine.
Yeah, that was an interesting story to talk about. Basically equating Jenny Finch fastball in the circle with a Randy Johnson rocket off the mound 60 feet 6 inches away.
And so Edwards goes down swinging, and the Bandits go down 1-2-3.
The sixth inning is sponsored by...
We head now to the top of the sixth inning, 5-3 in favor of the Pennsylvania Rebellion. You're watching Chicago Bandits softball on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
The switch, and now they switch back. So 5-8-0 for the visitors, 3-3-2 for the Bandits. The Bandits had used a long ball tonight with a solo shot by Cervantes and a 2-run home run by Galasso. Meanwhile, the Rebellion have come up with RBI base hits off the bat of Goler, along with Peterson with 2 RBIs on her. He had a solo home run by Sarah Precioso. And some good defense as well by Sarah.
Mike, regarding that whole golf the softball into the bucket, have you ever seen someone make it?
Not yet. As that ball is bounced on the blade of Z, and she'll flip it over quickly. A head first slide there by Preciosa goes to no avail.
That was a great location pitch by Michelle Gascoigne. Was able to get it on the ground and into the trusty hands of Daniel Zimkowitz.
And speaking of the game of golf, we're going to have the Bandits golf outing coming up next Thursday. That'll be at White Pines Golf Course up in Bensonville. You can check out the website at ChicagoBandits.com for more information. Give us a call at the office if you want to join us. It's a great event. All kinds of activities planned throughout the day. The package includes both lunch on the course as well as dinner afterwards. There's a silent auction that is also held. That'll be on Thursday, August the 6th. Your fee also includes the golf cart, driving range, a game program, a t-shirt from the golf outing, as well as ticket vouchers to redeem at the game against the Racers, or a game next year as well, actually against the Racers on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week.
Ready to defend your title?
Yeah. I tell you, it's a great course. It's a great day. Get an opportunity to meet the players and golf with the players.
I kind of want to see Monica Abbott play some golf.
See, nice change of speeds there by Michelle.
So how did Kirsten do in your group?
She contributed to the title. Her, Steve, and I certainly got our money's worth, if you measure that by swings per afternoon. There's a shot by Lindley that's going to be grabbed on the play by Z, and quickly 2 outs here as Michelle starting to settle down now.
That was a great catch by Daniel Zimkowitz. She located the ball immediately. And also another great location pitch by Michelle Gascoigne, who threw it right in on the fist of Brittany Lindley and was able to retire her for the second out.
Courtney Cenas now will come to the plate. Gascoigne is now retired the last 6 Rebellion hitters.
She's looking like so far that she's calmed down.
We'll see if the Bandit offense can wake up in their half of the sixth. It'll be Hernandez, Blank, and Williams to face Emily Wyman.
So the next day after that golf outing, Mike, is the Bandits banquet.
The unique thing about that is that if you attend the banquet, 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed by the former Seminole from Florida State. If you attend the banquet, you get an opportunity to vote on the many awards that are going to be presented to Bandits players during the event.
Offensive Player of the Year for me is pretty baffling. I think Megan Blank has definitely made a point of trying to get the Bandits Rookie of the Year award.
Yeah, I think T. Wool's got the Defensive Player of the Year locked up.
Amber has an argument. Always vacuuming those balls over there, but I think it's going to be Tammy in the end.
That will be on Friday, August the 7th. Again, check out the website at ChicagoBandits.com for all the information. Deuces are wild now to Cenas, and she gets punched out on the play, and Michelle Gascoigne has now picked up strikeout number 5, and she's retired 7 Rebellion in a row. So Michelle Gascoigne has certainly settled down in the circle. It's time for the Bandits to cause some ruckus on the offensive side of things. It'll be Hernandez, Blank, and Williams to face Emily Wyman for the Rebellion. Work to be done here for the Black and Orange as they trail at 5-3 here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. From North Carolina State and draftee had a record of 31-17 with a 2.42 earned run average and 322 strikeouts in her senior season. And trying to parlay that success right now against the second place Chicago Bandits.
This is a huge inning for the Bandits because this is typically the momentum tilter inning.
So the former Flame from UIC, Natalie Hernandez, who's reached both times on Fielder's Choice tonight, hits a soft liner on the play over to Precioso. The easy toss to Goler. 1 pitch and 1 out here for the Bandits in their half of the sixth.
Sarah Precioso is letting nothing get past her, no matter how near and far it is from her. She's making the play and getting the out.
Kaylin Richardson with the only RBI in that game and that 1-0 win for the Charge over the Racers. Sarah Pauly, the hard luck loser in that game. Morgan Mello picks up the victory for the Charge. She improves to 2-6 now on the season as the Charge pick up their 15th win of the year. Megan so far tonight is officially 0 for 1 with a walk in the second, and she lined out to Goler her last trip in the fourth, and that was a smash. Thanks again to everybody who's subscribing to YouTube tonight. We've got viewers from England as well as Hawaii, North Dakota. Thanks for checking in. It's streaming at ChicagoBandits.com. Blank whiffs on the 2-1 offering. Rebellion have out-hit the Bandits now 8-3. And both the first and the third baseman for the Rebellion hugging the line. The team banquet will be at Hyatt Regency O'Hare. And that will be next Friday night at 6 o'clock, August the 7th. Individual seats as well as fan tables, charity tables, and sponsorship tables are available. Grounded softly down to Goler, picks it up on a couple hops. The last one a particularly tough one, and she retires Megan Blank for the second consecutive time.
Number 2 is Williams.
Great play by Lisa Golder to field her position and let the ball come to her, and does a great job of hanging on to that second hop for the out.
T. Will's officially 0 for 1 so far in the game. She reached on a hit by pitch, and scored on the Galasso home run back in the fourth, which got the Bandits back into the ball game, but they still trail it 5-3, trying to get that tying run to the plate in the form of the aforementioned Galasso. Bunted in front of the plate and caught in the air by Kristen Sandberg on a nice job of getting the momentum that she had after getting up from the crouch and being able to catch that one on the fly for out number 3. So the Bandits go 3 up and 3 down, and they're after the 6th inning of play. So it's going to be up to Michelle Gascoigne to hold them down and hopefully get them in the 7th. But right now the Rebellion have a 2-run lead at 5-3 on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. In mind that the 2015 National Pro Fast Pitch Championship Series will be held in Hoover, Alabama, August the 14th through the 18th at Hoover Metropolitan Stadium. Get your tickets online at profastpitch.com. Lots of great events and great ticket packages. That's profastpitch.com for the 2015 National Pro Fast Pitch Championship Series in Hoover, Alabama. Stay tuned after the game. We'll have our combat post-game report. Alex Giannakopoulos will be interviewing our player of the game. And right now, Eric, if things hold up, I think Sarah Preciosa is right at the top of the list.
She has a home run and has just done excellent work in the field.
For that banquet coming up for the Bandits end of season next Friday, fans will get an opportunity to cast their vote for the overall player of the year, offensive and defensive player of the years, pitcher of the year, rookie of the year, and the Laura Harms Award for the most personable individual on the Bandit team. That's next Friday night, August the 7th at Hyatt Regency O'Hare at 6 o'clock. That ball is laced towards the corner. It's going to fall foul. R.T. Cantillo now in right field for the Bandits. A.J. Andrews has moved into center. And Brenna Moss now is in left. So an entirely new outfield for the black and orange. Cordes is 0 for 2 in the game so far. Cheyenne in the series is now 1 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. She got that RBI double in the 3-run 7th in the game last night that the Rebellion won by a score of 4-2, and they're up by the same margin tonight. Rebellion have out-hit the Bandits tonight 8-3. Gascoigne has hung in there. She's had her ups and downs this evening, but still looking for the complete game. And that would be complete game number 7 on the season here in her 9th start. And a nice job by Edwards to keep that into fair territory and get it over to Megan on the 2-3 putout for out number 1. Nicely done.
That was a great play by Taylor Edwards to keep that ball in front of her and was able to make a great throw down to Megan Blank for the out. That's been a hit that's caused trouble in the past for the Chicago Bandits.
Looking forward to the Bandit half of number 7. It'll be Galasso, Zimkowitz, and Andrews to face Emily Wyman. Watkins has been a thorn in the side of the Bandits tonight after striking out in the first. He reached on an infield single and scored back in the third, and then she had an RBI single in the fourth.
Watkins has been causing all kinds of trouble tonight.
The former Hilltopper from Western Kentucky with great speed at the top of the order for this Rebellion lineup. She's in the hole now. And she goes down swinging on the high hard one there by the former Sooner, Michelle Gascoigne. Michelle now with 6 punch-outs tonight. So 2 down now to Sakamoto. Haruna so far in the game has struck out. She reached on an error by Gascoigne and then grounded out to Zimkowitz. So that 254 average will be readjusted downward just a little bit for the Japanese star. Blank again, even with the bag at first. The bunt on the plate towards Megan, goes over to Z. Can she get there in time? And she does. 3-4 on the putout. So good Bandit defense in their half of the 7th inning of play. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left on base. Michelle Gascoigne retired the final 10 Rebellion hitters in a row to try to give the Bandit offense an opportunity for the comeback. We will head to the bottom half of the 7th inning of play. The Bandits need 2 to tie and 3 to win. They trail the Rebellion here 5-3 on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Ballpark at Rosemont. Dave Fournier has subscribed to us. Thanks, Dave, for your support of the Rebellion and the NPF. Allison, of course, a fine graduate of Tufts University and the Rebellion bullpen. So Vicky Galasso, who's responsible for 2 of the 3 Bandit runs, lead is off here for the Black and Orange. As Emily Wyman double threes, trying to seal this one now for the Rebellion. She's trying to pick up her 3rd save of the season. 66 miles an hour on the fastball on that one.
It's going to be up to the bottom half of the Bandits lineup to get something started. Tonight, that part of the lineup has combined to go 1 for 6, with Vicky Galasso having the home run.
Open stance from the right-hand side is Vicky trying to get that tying run to the plate. And Elisa Goer telling Emily Wyman, we do not want that to happen. Nice let up on that pitcher's pitch there. And we'll have a 3and2sports.com payoff. Drop third strike is picked up by Sandberg. That'll be a strikeout there for Wyman.
Right now, the winning number is up on the board. $81.
That was a great comeback and recovery by Emily Wyman to get Vicky Galasso to strike out there. She went down 3-1, but eventually got Galasso out. So now it's going to be up to Danielle Zimkowitz, and it appears A.J. Andrews.
There's a long fly ball by Z, but Cheyenne Cordes is right there and continues her fine defensive play as she makes the grab for out number 2. So the Cal Berkeley Golden Bear doing a great job again with the glove tonight, and the Bandits are down to their last out.
Great play by Cheyenne Cordes. Was able to locate and track down that line shot by Danielle Zimkowitz to retire Zimkowitz for the second out. So now it's up to AJ.
So Miranda Kramer, looking for her first victory, professional victory in the NPF, is now 2 strikes away from accomplishing just that. A.J. Andrews, the former Tiger from LSU, trying to keep the rally alive here for the Bandits.
If A.J. can just get on base, that could potentially reinsert Brittany Cervantes, as A.J. Andrews would be on there, and Cervantes would be the tying run, and she has a home run tonight.
0-1 pitch is hit softly to Precioso, and how apropos is that our Boomba player of the game catches the final out in tonight's ball game. So Emily Wyman comes in and she retires all 9 Bandit hitters that she faces in her 3 innings of work, and the former Wolfpack from North Carolina State gets her 3rd save of the season as the Rebellion take game number 2 here by a score of 5-3 over the Chicago Bandits, Eric. So once again, the Rebellion pitching staff, which has been on a roll throughout the season, continues, and now they get some timely hitting to go along with the great work in the circle.
During the season, they've been looking for the big pop, and they're certainly getting that in this series as they take their first series win over the Chicago Bandits, an opponent they had struggled mightily against coming into this series.
So for the Pennsylvania Rebellion, as we go now with our Combat Sports post-game report. Combat Sports, your advantage is in our DNA. Experience Maxim, a 40% larger hitting surface than the closest competitor. For the Pennsylvania Rebellion, 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The visitors end up stranding 3 in the ball game. The winner is Miranda Kramer. She picks up the win, her first professional win in the NPF. Emily Wyman retires all 9 Bandit hitters, and she picks up her 3rd save of the evening as the Rebellion pick up win number 12, and they keep pace with the Dallas Charge, who won their game tonight over Akron by a score of 1-0. For the Chicago Bandits, 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors. They were costly in today's ball game. The Bandits ended up stranding only 3 runners. Each runner was stranded in the first 3 innings of this ball game. The loser is Michelle Gascoigne, and Gascoigne now falls on the season to 4-5 on the campaign. The Bandits now fall to 26-15 on the season, 3 full games behind the Pride in the NPF standings, Eric.
Well, I think at this point, for a lot of the most part, their hopes of winning the Ringgold Cup this season, I think, have vanished because they haven't really been able to take care of business against the Pennsylvania Rebellion. And it's the 3rd outing in a row, as I mentioned during the broadcast, that Michelle Gascoigne has been lit up for 3+ runs. I mean, they really need Michelle Gascoigne tonight to really bounce back and be the Michelle Gascoigne that we've seen in the past and parts of this season. But unfortunately, Michelle Gascoigne just wasn't able to get it done and gave up 3+ runs again. But the Bandits did a great job of staying in it, thanks to the long ball by Vicky Galasso and also by Brittany Cervantes. But the Bandits did a great job of getting on base and creating opportunities for that to occur. But you got to give credit to Sarah Precioso, who took away at least 3 Bandit hits.
So we're going to first of all feature our Diamond Sports play of the game tonight. The official softball of the NPF. Diamond Sports, progressive design plus advanced technology equals unparalleled performance. And as Eric mentioned, Sarah Precioso with that diving catch moving to her left from second base. As that ball, I thought, Eric, could have possibly been dropped because of the force of hitting the ground as she went to dive for that ball. But Sarah was able to hold on to the ball, and for the second consecutive inning, second consecutive night, she hits the top of the fence, and the ball bounces over for a home run. The home run last night, of course, the huge one to tie the ball game, and the home run tonight to get the Rebellion offense moving.
Sarah Precioso has been showing that she can do it both with the bat and the glove. Tonight, it was evident tonight that she wasn't letting anything get past her, and I mentioned to the point where I was thinking maybe the Bandits should stop hitting in that direction, since it seems like nothing is going to get past Sarah Precioso as we saw tonight. She was kind of having that old-time Brooks Robinson out there, but she did a great job of keeping the Bandits off the scoreboard, and she did a great job of just robbing the Bandits of base hits that really in any other ball game probably could have happened.
Right now, Alex Giannakopoulos is going to try to get Sarah Precioso to be able to come here for our Boomba Player of the Game interview. And also our Diamond Sports Play of the Game is brought to us by Diamond Sports, the official softball of the NPF. They feature progressive design plus advanced technology, and that equals unparalleled performance. So, Eric, the Bandits are going to have to regroup here on this matinee game coming up on Sunday, and we'll see if they are able to at least salvage one of these 3 games here and turn the momentum around as they head towards that 3-game series against the Akron Racers.
I have a feeling, Mike, that they're going to send out Monica Abbott tomorrow to really salvage the series, because if you need someone to complete a series, complete a sweep, salvage a series, or split a series, Monica Abbott is the one that you go to. And Monica Abbott really has been the Bandit pitcher that's been consistent all year round, as she has 68 straight innings without giving up a run. So Monica Abbott would be the decision that Mike Sturwell is probably going to go with tomorrow.
Thanks again as we get set for our Boomba Player of the Game interview. Thanks again to everybody who subscribed to us on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com, as well as reached out to us at streaming at ChicagoBandits.com. As you mentioned, our next broadcast will be tomorrow afternoon, pregame show at 2:50 with first pitch at 3:05. And we do anticipate number 14 being in the circle, and I would imagine that Dallas Escobedo would be right at the forefront of getting the potential start for the visitors.
The thing about Dallas Escobedo this season is she really has to be more consistent. One day she looks like the number 1 pick overall. Other days she looks like she was drafted late or not even drafted at all.
Taking a look at the Major League scoreboard tonight, the Chicago Cubs come up with a 4-2 victory over the Milwaukee Brewers. The White Sox even that series up against the Yankees with an 8-2 win. John Danks picks up the victory in that one. In other division action, Cleveland is losing to Oakland by a score of 3-1. Tampa Bay lost tonight to Boston, so that helps the White Sox in their wild card chase. Baltimore, a team that the Sox are trying to catch, knocks off Detroit 6-2. Minnesota, the second place team in the Central, beats Edge's Seattle 3-2 in that ball game. And we're still trying to see if Alec can get the interview here with Sarah Precioso. Sarah doing a great job tonight with the glove as well as the bat. Former Temple Owl out of Bloomfield, New Jersey. And let's go ahead now and send it down to Alec for our post-game interview, our Boomba player of the ball game, Sarah Precioso. Take it away, Alec.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Here by home plate with Sarah Precioso. Sarah, you have 2 home runs in 2 days. You're really feeling it at the plate. What do you see right now that you can take advantage of?
Honestly, I'm just seeing the ball really well. I feel like every time I play here, I always see the ball well, and I love this field offensively and defensively, so I don't know. I'm just honestly seeing the ball well, trying to put it in play where it's pitched kind of thing.
And this is comes more important as we get towards the end of the season. You guys are 3.5 back. How much more important does each game get as we get towards the end of the season?
So important. We know it's either like every game is kind of like either we're gonna win, continue winning, and hopefully get the postseason, or like lose and kind of be done. So I mean, every game we're just trying to stay up, nothing to lose kind of attitude we have.
And what's the mentality going into the final couple games of the season for you?
For me, it's just, I mean, I haven't started, this is my first series that I've started in a while, so right now I'm just trying to take advantage of anything I can get, so I'm going like all out, yeah.
All right, well, congratulations and best of luck down the road.
Thank you.
Guys?
Precioso, our Boomba player of the ball game. Boomba is the official helmet, or check that, the official supplier for National Pro Fast Pitch Authentic Team uniforms, training apparel, and replica sportswear. And certainly a well-deserved honor, Eric, for Sarah Precioso, kind of the body of the work that she's put in during the series, because the home run last night just totally turned the game around, hitting the top of the right center field fence and having it go over for the home run. And tonight, her dinger towards left center field got the Rebellion offense moving.
Well, Sarah Precioso has been really the main factor in the momentum. Is she's been able to really make stuff happen with the bat, and tonight she was able to do it with the glove also. She has been the momentum for the Pennsylvania Rebellion, which is why part of the reason why the Bandits are having trouble with the Rebellion here in this series as they lose their first series of the year against the Pennsylvania Rebellion.
Special thanks go out to our Beacon Academy crew. Terrific job on the cameras at third by Allison Ward, along with Sarah Mogatich down at first base. Ronnie Capuzzo doing a great job spinning the dials up here in the press box, along with Max Arnold. Brendan Culleton helping out Alec Giannakopoulos with our post-game and in-dugout interviews. Also thanks go out to Jacob as well for doing a great job filling in out here tonight. And again, thanks go out as well to the Bandit staff as well as the players and coaches for pregame interview accessibility and statistics prior to tonight's ball game. So for Eric Katz, this is Mike Knezovich saying so long from the ballpark at Rosemont. Well, the Pennsylvania Rebellion have won the first 2 games of this 3-game set as they win it tonight behind Boomba player of the game Sarah Precioso and the 3rd save of the season by Emily Wyman as they edge the Bandits by a score of 5-3. We'll join you with pregame coverage at 2:50 tomorrow afternoon. First pitch at 3:05 as the Bandits try to salvage the 3rd and final game of this 3-game set. God bless America. God bless you all. Have a safe and wonderful evening, everybody. So long from the ballpark at Rosemont.